Have you noticed that your autoimmune symptoms get worse after a stressful week, even if your food hasn't changed? It's not in your head. Stress literally fuels the autoimmune flares. That was really a kicker for me. It doesn't matter if it's emotional stress, physical stress, or even hidden stressors like toxins or blood sugar swings or foods that just aren't quite right for you. Your body reacts the same way. So I want to talk about how stress keeps your antibodies high, your gut leaky, and your energy drained, and what you can do about it. So I'm Jen. I'm a culinary coach, whole food plant-based, a health educator, and someone who's been managing autoimmune disease just shy of 20 years. So I've been there, done that. I've been through the stress flare cycle, and it's taken me a long time to figure out how to get stress under control. Once I understood how stress impacts antibodies, hormones, and the gut, I started to make changes that helped me feel calm, clear, and more in control. So if you're tired of people telling you, you just have to meditate more, I totally feel that because I'm one of those people, like I have trouble sitting still. Like even just sitting still to do this video is difficult for me. And so sitting down and do a meditation just did not align with me. And so you sometimes we just have to go out and find that one thing. There is something that will help you. But I want to share more about stress and how it affects your autoimmune. So stress is a biochemical reaction in the body. When you're stressed, your body pumps out cortisol and adrenaline. You've heard of adrenaline rush. Cortisol raises our blood sugar, which suppresses digestion and ramps up inflammation. If we're in danger, which stress our body signals as a danger response, then it's not the time to go to the bathroom. So things slow down, especially digestion. Over time, high cortisol can weaken your gut lining, which can also lead to leaky gut, as well as those other things that we talk about all the time. So once your gut is leaky, antibodies just start skyrocketing. So stress doesn't make you feel tired or anxious. Maybe it does, but it does turn up the volume of autoimmune disease. So for me, when I was in a stress response, I would get kind of hyper, but my history is Graves' disease, where you are generally hyper, right? So stress isn't just the I had a bad day kind. Like today, I had one of those days where I just had meetings back to back to back to back. I didn't even have time to eat lunch, and that's a lot of stress, right? But it can also be emotional stress. It can be grief or conflict. Worried about your children, physical stress, over exercising. I do find a lot of clients who do that. Lack of sleep and having an illness, which if you already have an autoimmune disease, that's kind of a hidden illness, right? Chemical stress, toxins, those air plug-in things, those are terrible. Pesticides, molds, plastics. When you purchase your food, does it come in plastics? Because our food does absorb those plastics. Food stress. Are you having blood sugar spikes? Are you paying attention and eliminating gluten? If you have an autoimmune disease, you need to eliminate gluten and ultra-processed foods. Why did I not say all processed foods? Well, zucchini noodles, zoodles, or ground up zucchini, that's a processed food. Technically, right, is not a whole zucchini. Ultra processed food would be zucchini flour. And so we kind of have to get used to that word, processed, ultra processed. So your food doesn't separate these forms of stress. It says, hey, we're under attack. We need to keep firing. If we have an autoimmune disease, we don't want anything else to be firing, right? And so that's why our symptoms can flare even when we're eating really healthy foods. So when I was first diagnosed with Graves, stress was everywhere. I was working multiple jobs. I was taking classes at night. I had two small children. I had a newborn, and then I had a 6-year-old. And so I had family stress. I had work stress. I had this health stress, and I thought I could just push through, but my body pushed back. My heart was racing. I wasn't sleeping. My anxiety was totally out of control. And I didn't realize that was a symptom. I thought it was just part of my personality. Now that I've reversed all of those, I'm like, whoa, it's nice to be calm and not to be anxious all the time. So I realized that food wasn't the one thing that was going to fix it, right? And there's not going to be just one thing. It's going to be a multiple series of events, series of things that you have to change. I had to get serious about managing my stress. That was the last thing that I actually did because I didn't want to sit still and I didn't want to meditate. So if you're wondering if stress is playing a role, do you have afternoon crashes? Are you wired up at night? Do you have cravings for sugar, salt, and caffeine? Now, these may not just be stress related, they can be blood sugar related. There can be other things as well. These are just some symptoms. If you have a lot of these, then stress is probably it. Anxiety, brain fog, mood swings, digestion that's off for no reason, either sped up or slowed down, and antibodies that stay high no matter how clean, quote unquote, your diet is. If this sounds familiar, stress is more than mental, it's a biochemical reaction. So, like me, you can calm that stress autoimmune loop. First, balancing your blood sugar. You can't get any hormones into balance until your blood sugar is in balance. That is key. So, pairing fiber, fat, and protein at every meal. When I say protein, I'm not talking about meat. I haven't had any meat since 2016. And so you don't have to have meat to meet your protein needs. There are other ways to balance your blood sugar without meat. Prioritize sleep. Your best anti-inflammatory tool is sleep. Going to sleep at a decent time, not eating before bed, sleeping through the night in a dark room. There's a lot more things to do with that. Moving gently, walking, yoga, qigong, those things reduce cortisol better than a punishing workout. I used to do, I can't think of what the word is. Anyway, it was a workout where I was just training really hard, to do mud runs and things like that with my daughter. And then I started getting sicker and sicker and sicker. That's a punishing workout. Stretching, doing yogas. It's okay to do those things occasionally, but not every single day. Breathing intentionally, taking a break before your meals, first thing in the morning, before you go to bed, to just focus on deep breathing. In our lungs, most of our chemical exchange is in that lower lobe, the bottom of our lungs. Are you breathing deeply to get to that bottom and really expelling to release stale air? So breathing intentionally. Cooking at home, that is key. You have to cook at home. That way you know what is in your food. And there are ways to make it fun and easy. Grounding, nourishing foods can help to lower our food stress and really identify those key food stressors that are aggravating our body. And then lowering the toxic load, getting rid of plastics, no plastics in the kitchen, using really safe, clean tools in the kitchen, no plastic utensils, watching for chemicals, looking at fragrances. Do you have fragrances in your shampoos, in your dish soap, in your laundry detergent? All of those things, they add up to really overload your body with toxins. So the goal isn't zero stress. That's not reasonable. I had a doctor once that just told me I needed to avoid stress. At the time, her office was in downtown Atlanta, and I live an hour outside of Atlanta. And if you've ever heard of Atlanta traffic, you know there's no way you can avoid stress leaving her office. I mean, what a joke. There's going to be stress. We live in a real world. So one of my clients had Hashimoto's. She had stubbornly high antibodies, and we had to cut out the gluten. We had to balance her blood sugar, but still nothing changed. Her antibodies just wouldn't budge. And so we had to start looking deeper. She was only sleeping 5 hours a night. She was drinking lots of coffee, and coffee can lead to anxiety and some people stress. And she was working nonstop around the clock. So we had to change her meals to make them more blood sugar balancing, really looking, are we eating foods that are irritating to your gut? We added a 10-minute evening routine to calm before bed. And we swapped out her toxic candles. Did you know that? Those candles, that vanilla scented candle may smell wonderful to you, but it may be adding toxins to your body. And then we went through her cleaners and cleaned up her bathroom products and laundry products and things like that. Within 3 months, her antibodies started coming down, her energy went back up, and she stopped waking up in the morning exhausted. So there is hope for all of us. So if stress feels like it's running the show, know this: you are only overloaded, and we can trim that back. You can change it. You can lower your antibodies. If you want to learn how to lower your stress through food, lifestyle, and daily routines, come join me in my membership, the Culinary Healing Circle. You can find it at culinaryhealingcircle.com. And I would love to work with you in there. It's a group, but we do food demos, and I have a lecture every month, and I do a live through Zoom, Q&A and open coaching. We have a book club, all sorts of things. It's fabulous. And it's a community of other autoimmune warriors. So stress can fuel your flares. When you calm the stress response, you calm your immune system. And that is where your body finally gets to rest. So share this with someone you know who seems to be stressed all the time, and let them understand that, hey, this is fueling your autoimmune. We have to get your stress under control. Anyway, and I would love to help you. So once again, culinaryhealingcircle.com, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.